Hello everyone, this is Ritesh, and right now I'm watching a historical race. She's Sarah Atta from Saudi Arabia, and you can see everyone is clapping for her. And I think we should all clap for her because she she had not won the race, but she has created history by becoming the first ever woman from Saudi Arabia to represent Saudi Arabia in the Olympics, right? And this very particular video forced me to analyze my scatter plot in a different way. So what I'm talking about, let us try to see that. So basically, I want to predict Olympic medal tally with respect to different factors or say measures over there. So I started with population. I got frustrated in between as well because I was not getting the good numbers, and still maybe I haven't got the new numbers, but there is something to share with you. I started with population versus medal. So here you have Olympic medal tally, and you have the population and 0.192 R square value. Then I move over to population density, that was inversed. Okay. Then I move over to life expectancy, thinking about the medical or health facilities, whether that will determine the Olympic medal tally. Okay, not so great. Last but not the least, GDP, and here it make a some sort of sense over there. If you can see the line over there, here you have United States of America with 113 medal, China. So I get R square as 0.723, and somewhat it makes sense over there. And mind you, this is the overall GDP. It's not GDP per capita income. I tried that also, which was giving nothing. So here, once I saw that, and what is the relationship of this scatter plot with that video, I could see that okay, there are different countries over there, and I just tried to see the countries which are way below the line. So here I can see India also, and here I can see Saudi Arabia, and there are other different countries over there. So I can see Saudi Arabia having GDP 701, which is much bigger than Ukraine or Hungary, but they have got 14, 19, 14 or 19 medals over there. Saudi Arabia has got only one medal, right? Apart from GDP, there can be one more factor over there if we can add somehow that to our equation, which can quantify the difference, whether it comes to freedom or whether it comes to education. If there is a big difference in a country, that can affect the Olympic medal tally, right? It makes sense, right? I showed you that very particular race, and I said that she's the first Saudi Arab woman to represent her country. If you don't have the equal right, and for a competition like Olympics where you have half of the medals will be there for the women and half of the medals will be there for the men, so it's a big disadvantage for any country if you are not giving that right to the woman. Definitely it will affect the medal tally for sure, but how to quantify that? Now again, the problem is one way is to consider literacy rate. So if I get the literacy rate of women and man and take the difference between them, I get a measure which can in a way, not 100% full proof, but in a way it can. So I just went to Data World Bank and I downloaded the stats from there. Literacy rate for man and woman. So you can see so many things I have tried. That's why I said I got frustrated. Anyhow, sum of GDP plus sum of woman literacy rate minus sum of rate. This is men literacy rate divided by 1,000. Now let us see the equation over there. R square 0.90, which was 0.72. So by adding that factor, the R square value has improved over there for sure. Now let us analyze it. Now this is United States, this is China, and this is the formula. 5.39805 into custom measure new plus 4.15. And what is the custom measure? And this is the custom measure. Sum of GDP, this one, plus sum of rate of women. It's simple. GDP plus woman literacy rate minus men's literacy rate divided by 1,000. You know. If this is much more than, then you are subtracting from the GDP, which is in $1 billion over there. Now let us analyze the countries which are much higher than this line, right? Like Italy. If I go to Italy, now you see the gender difference over there. It's 0%. Literacy rate is quite high, 99% for both women and men. Gender difference zero. Brazil, it's equal. It's 93%. It's not 99. It's 93, but it's equal. Hungary, it's equal 99. Ukraine, it's equal. Now if I go over there, Saudi Arabia, remember it's more than freedom than education, because 93 it's still good for women, but it's still 93 and 97. While there is a big gap as far as India is concerned, which is 66 and 82. That makes minus 16. But rights are there, means everyone is free in India to participate in anything, but you have to back them to reach up to that stage where they can participate. This is one thing, and that's why programs like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, these programs are very, very important for India, because GDP wise we are not bad, right? 2709. Well, Saudi Arabia, with respect to the overall population, 701 is good. Means like Ukraine and Hungary, you can see 155, and it's much more. But the problem is different over there in Saudi Arabia. It's more with respect to the right, you know, how equally you are treating. And I've heard that, before 2018, women were not even allowed to drive the cars over there. So, so you understand what I mean to say. So the lesser the difference between the genders in terms of education and rights, the probability of having more medals will be brighter, or say higher. So you call yourself a sporting nation when there are equal number of participants, and when there is equal encouragement as well. So this is Ritesh signing off from Dancing with Data. Any feedback about this analysis is welcome. Bye bye, bye bye, and take care.